Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. I do lots of pageant reviews, I do hair and makeup tutorials, travel as well. And if you have been here many times before, thanks for tuning back in. I'm so excited to have you. Today is going to be a quick little video. It is a review of the overall experience at prelims. So the experience from and also we're talking about prelims for Miss Universe 2020 here in Hollywood, Florida at the Hard Rock. I am currently here live on the ground. And if you don't know who I am, I'm a former Miss USA. I'm wearing my USA sweater today, just can't see it. And place first runner-up, actually not too far away in Doral, Florida, just down the road by like 30 minutes. Okay, so let's get into it. I want this to be kind of short and sweet because I also have a prediction video. And if you have not seen the prediction video, this is my predictions for who will make it into the top 21. You can click this link right there. There you go. So when that video is available, you can click that link. All right, so the overall review of the full experience from a perspective of the actual audience and then just what the show was and how it was performed. As an audience member, you got your tickets at the box office in advance. So from an audience member's perspective, when you come into the hotel, they actually do a temperature check as you first come in. So temperature checks first. All the safety things are definitely in place. You have your mask on and all of that, because if you're watching this video later, we are at the very end. I'm saying it's the end of a global pandemic, at least here in the US, because of so many vaccines and people that have already had it. Temperature check, go on into the venue, they check everything. The spacing of the chairs, every other row is 100% blocked off. So it's significantly less capacity. And they were selling tickets in chunks, essentially. So Daniel and I were 2 people. The group next to us was a chunk of 3. And then there was 2 empty seats in between each chunk. That is not the right word. Each grouping of tickets. So there was space in between and then a whole row between the next row in front of you or behind you. So that was nice. We felt very safe. I would say maybe like 10% of the people that I saw within like the distance that my eyes could see would take off their mask, but there was tons of security guards all around the venue, and they would walk by every single row if anyone took their mask down and said, put your mask back up, put your mask back up. It did feel very safe because if someone even took their mask down for a little bit, they would put it back up right away because the security guards are really on top of that. When it comes to the COVID precautions and everything, I know the Miss Universe organization is super on top of it, but also the venue is very on top of it. So it was nice. I felt very safe after the event. If I took pictures with anyone, and like 50% of the people were kind enough to keep their mask on, and then other people told me before they came up, before they took their mask off, hey, I'm fully vaccinated, is it okay if I take my mask off? And so they did. And then if I was talking to anybody, I would put it back on. That's just kind of the audience and interaction perspective of the show. Now let's get into the show. We're gonna do overall just like things I liked and did not like, because the actual predictions and my thoughts about the contestants is gonna be in the prediction videos. We'll start off by the little like opening number, all the girls walking out. From a production point of view, I was a little disappointed from what I saw on the screens, but that may be a little bit different than what you guys saw if you watched it on the live stream. When I was watching it on the screens, it seemed like they really kind of had to work a little bit to get the timing of the camera and the girl right. Kind of, I would say after the first quarter of girls were called, they finally seemed to really get into a better motion when they were calling out the names like Australia, Albania, I want to say Alabama, but that's the US. Trying to think of other A names, but as they were calling them in alphabetical order, they were not like exactly on with the camera. So I feel like I wanted to see more of the girl when they called her name. Moving on to swim. A lot of people were asking me, what do you think about the like wrap cover up thing that they had? I kind of have 2 perspectives on it. One, if we're going like with the positive first, the first perspective is I did like that it was so long. It's kind of a lot, just like from my perspective, to have your booty out on stage, like you're already half naked on stage, like butt out and all the things as you're walking down the runway. You're so close to all these people that are like right underneath you. So I like that it kind of provided a little bit of coverage, especially as the girls are walking away. But I didn't personally like love the long sleeves. If it was more of like this kind of shape and had the length, I feel like I would have liked it a little bit more, but I didn't hate it. I loved how it had the flow to it. I love that some girls are really working it. And I thought overall, especially the different colors, it added a good visual aspect to the show. That's what I thought about swim. I again, with the cameras, I'm not going to talk about the cameras the whole time because the cameras drove me a little bit crazy, but obviously for the final show, I feel like they're so on top of this. Like, this show is for TV. It's broadcast on Telemundo and all of that. I think that for the actual final show, it's going to be a lot better, really good camera angles on the girls. And like, you know, even when they do like a pan to look at the dress and everything from top to bottom, I think they're going to have it way more on lock for finals. I really didn't love all the camera angles and timing for prelims. One more thing about swim that I wrote down in a lot of my notes, and I'll get more specifically into it in my other video, but a lot of the girls were not aware of where the camera was. And they were either looking forward or looking the other direction at the wrong camera. And in my mind, if you're a competitor, I'm saying girls that I think have a chance to place in the top 20. If you're a competitor, you better have your eye on that camera. You better be looking into it, having fun with it. As a former contestant, I can definitely speak to that. I also can say I was not perfect at it, but I know what it looks like when the judges are staring at the camera, because, you know, you look so, even if they're up close, you still look so much smaller, farther away. So they're really looking at how you present yourself on camera, that confidence and that awareness of even yourself and what's going on around you. If you're a future contestant watching a video like this, make sure you know exactly where every camera is and when they're on. Some girls will be looking at the wrong camera at the wrong time. All right, moving into evening gown, we'll talk about trends quickly because I want to talk again about the specific girls in my prediction video. So trends, I saw a few gloves. Overall, I don't like gloves. I think it's weird. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I'm not a fan of the gloves. That's my personal opinion. Maybe you love gloves. Maybe you love how gloves looked on specific girls, but it is not for me. No. Or I'm like, we're not in Bridgerton right now. It's just how I feel about it. A lot of the gowns were phenomenal. There was probably a solid 5 gowns where I'm like, what's going on? And I did not love them. There's a few gowns where I would have been like, oh girl, let's change your gown because you're amazing, or you have a chance. And not that a gown will take anybody out, but I think when it comes to how you look on stage and how you present yourself as a competitor, the gown should just enhance your beauty and bring, like as a judge, if you're looking at the gown and then straight up to the girl and you're just like mesmerized by her, that's what we want. We don't want, look at the gown, look at the girl, and then be like, but what's going on over there? And they're distracted by the gloves, or they're distracted by the neckline, or they're distracted by how short it is. You want it to just like bring everything together and really make you stand out even more, rather than a judge spending her time thinking about the gown, rather than thinking about you and listening to those facts about you. Just my 2 cents from the gown perspective. I will get into more detail when I'm talking about the individual contestants. There were a lot of phenomenal gowns. There were some girls that stood out okay in swim and they came out in their gown, and I literally wrote like Miss Universe ? Pulled it together even more in gown. So I love that. It really, the gown section for the girls that did it right really made them stand out. At the very end of the show, they brought all the girls back on stage. They waved, yada, yada, yada. They wrapped up the show. Oh my gosh, how have we not talked about this yet? Zosie and Demi, they were absolutely amazing hosts. I love having both of their South African accents on stage. I'm just a fan of both of them. Demi is one of the sweetest women I've ever met. I've spent some time with her at Sarah's wedding and when she was Miss Universe. And then Zosie as well. I've been blessed to spend some time with her. Both phenomenal women, both did such a good job. And I'm just so glad they were hosts. I think they were absolutely perfect together. And I would love to see them hosting more Miss Universe events, competitions, and all of that, because they slayed it and they look beautiful and they represent the Miss Universe organization wonderfully. All right, so that's the video, guys. I wanted to try my best to keep it short and sweet. Make sure you leave a comment below what you thought. I know sometimes the comments in these videos can get a little bit heated. First and foremost, everything is my personal opinion, so don't hate on me, okay? And share your comments. Like, I want to know what you think, and I want to know how you feel about the show, about how it looked from your point of view. But let's not be haters. Let's not be mean, okay? Click the subscribe button so you can make sure you don't miss future videos. Give this video a thumbs up, and check out all the other Miss Universe 2020 videos and a hair care video that I also posted recently as well. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. See you later.